Hello everybody, welcome. It's Jill here and today's Wednesday. So we have our weekly Wednesday Q&A for my community of ladies 40 plus looking to make changes in your health and fitness and just feeling more energized, confident, and strong. And so every Wednesday I come in and I take a sampling of you ladies who have joined recently, and I answer your questions and address your struggles, and we talk about your goals. And I've put some really great links here in the post as well. 3 action items for those of you who are wondering, how do I get started? There's 3 ways to start. Not big commitments, but they will get you moving in the right direction. The first one is a link if you have not scheduled a game plan call with me. It's an amazing opportunity for you to take 45 minutes to talk to me one-on-one. Tell me about what's going on with you. We get to know each other and feel out if we would be a good fit to do some coaching together in some way or another. And I think you'll also just have some takeaways right from that call. I'm very easygoing, a very good listener, and I love diving in to hear your story. You see me on this end and I don't get to see you. So that's one way to go, is to schedule a call with me just to start. And then the second way is I actually added the link for my Jill's Killer Abs program. Today is May 29th. And so that means that in just a few days, in 3 days, 30, 31, 1, June 1st, I will be starting my next round of Jill's Killer Abs. It's how I get and maintain my 6-pack, and it's how I avoid back pain with a permanent spinal injury that I sustained in 2008. And it helps me stay strong, and it helps my golf game, and it helps me to feel nice and tall, and helps my abs and my belly stay in and flat. And so that's Jill's Killer Abs, and I've included a link to the program, but I also added a coupon code for the first 10 of you who sign up. I'm giving you $20 off. That is a huge discount. That's about 40% off, if I can do that math correctly in my head. Okay, so sign up for Jill's Killer Abs and start with me on June 1st. We go from the 1st to the 20th. It's 7 to 8 minutes a day. The last day is 12 minutes. You get an extra booty burn on that day. And it's 16 individually filmed workouts for your core and 4 bonus workouts for your glutes. It is a life changer, especially if you do it regularly like my clients do. The third link that I added is for those of you who I know are going to ask me menopausal questions, is my Menopausal Metabolism Reboot program. And you can sign up for that. It's a do-it-yourself, self-led program, but it does have a supported Facebook group where all of the resources are, and it includes 3 amazing workshops for getting you educated on what's going on from 40 on, premenopausal, perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal, all the things. And it gives you a nutrition protocol for 35 days, including my famous 5-day Kickstart Cleanse. And then you can always add on my 4-week Fit and Fast strength training program that is only 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And that is 50% off if you add it when you buy the Menopausal Reboot. So all the links to these things are in here. They're great ways to start. If you don't start something, you're just going to stay the same or get worse. So you might as well get started on something. If you have a question for me that you want answered on this live or even after or next week, then just pop it in the comments below. Let me know if you're here live, or let me know if you're here on the replay watching, so I know everybody got this info, okay? So we're going to start off by figuring out as a group, right, because we are a community, what is holding our peeps back from getting amazing results in your fitness and nutrition, okay? So I'm going to read off some of the answers that I got from you ladies. Amy says, support is what's lacking. She said a non-supportive husband. She said he's very loving and kind, but doesn't care what she looks like. Well, I'm sorry to say, Amy, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. It's what you feel about yourself. If you wake up each day and you're upset when you look in the mirror, or you don't love how you feel in your clothes, or it's devastating to have to get into an outfit for a special occasion, then that should be enough motivation for you to start making changes. And I'm sure your husband will appreciate when you take care of yourself, and he may not even be voicing how he feels. I don't think men care as much about our appearance as we do, but I bet he does care that you are confident in yourself. I remember a call I had with a woman when I was doing a game plan call with her, and she actually wanted her husband to be on the call too. And he kind of stepped in and he said, my wife would be so attractive if she loved herself, but she doesn't. And it's really hard to love her when she does not love herself at all. And I think that was a big wake-up call for her. She ended up signing on with me, and we all worked together to make sure that everybody was happy and confident in themselves so that they could share more love with each other. Okay, long-winded answer to that. Okay, Leslie says motivation is holding her back. Leslie, I encourage you to check out my guide in the guide section with all of my Monday motivation videos. Every Monday I come in here, I give you all a pep talk, I spin motivation in a different way. I do send it out via email. I put it on my YouTube channel if you look up Jill Ortiz on YouTube. So start binge watching that instead of whatever Netflix show you're watching, right? So that's going to be how we work on motivation. Oh, I'm going to choke. Okay, 1 second. Quick break, brought to you by Greens. All right, so Deborah says, I think I'm tired. I have advanced scoliosis and spinal stenosis. All right. Gina says, can I do this through going through menopause? So I guess menopause she feels is holding her back. Yes, Gina, you can. And I would start with my menopausal metabolism reboot, or have a chat with me, and we can talk about if that's the best solution for you to start with. Micheline says, I spend too much money switching from one program to the next. And that's interesting. Sometimes when we don't see results quick enough, or we don't like what we're doing, we quickly hop off that ship. And so I do believe that it's important. That's why I like to have a one-on-one call, and I don't just say, here, sign up for this big coaching program. I don't want people in my program who aren't a good fit, right? I want people to come in and love it and stay and get great results. So I think it's important that you really research and figure out, is this person somebody who I want to work with? Do I believe in what they're saying? Do I buy into their program? Will their program fit me where I'm at right now and fit my lifestyle? And so that's why I like to have those game plan calls, to make sure we're a good fit. But I think you also have to make sure you're giving a program enough time to see that it works. So for those who join my Empowered Fitness Mastery coaching program, I start with a minimum 3-month commitment because I need that much time to teach you multiple tools for nutrition, to have you do multiple fitness programs so that you can have enough time for your body to see and make tons of changes. And that also really ensures that I know that you can stay accountable and stay consistent in your journey. And it includes coaching calls with me, and so that I know that you've got it before that 3 months is over. And of course, I have most people stay in beyond the 3 months, but it's just really important that we solidify what you're doing, that you love it, that you're enjoying the journey, and that it's working for you, and that if it's not working for you, that we quickly find what's not working and tweak it. And so I think it is okay, and I appreciate spending a lot of money on something that I feel is worth it. I remember, this is a funny story, I remember in college, I bought these pants from Express. They were gold. Gold pants. They were my favorite gold pants. I wore them out when I went out with my furry black vest. And I remember, like, I spent so much money on those. They were, at the time, they were like $80 pants, which was a lot for me in college. But I wore those things all the time, and it's kind of like a good pair of jeans. I don't mind spending money on good quality jeans if I'm going to wear those things forever and all the time. And so I think when it comes to, fitness program, a coaching program, investing in something that is going to have real long-lasting change and affect change, I think that investing in that is a good decision, right? It's kind of like you get what you pay for. So I don't think it's a problem spending a good chunk of money, but yeah, you want it to be on something that's going to work for you and work for the long run. Let's see. Missy says, I don't really know what's holding me back. I work out regularly and log my food. So Working out regularly and logging food definitely is not going to ensure results. That's better than probably what most people are doing, Missy. But we have to make sure that you're doing the right workouts, that we are progressing in your workouts, and that the food you're logging is the good food, and that it makes sense, and that it's aligned with your fitness and with your goals. I had a really great call with Dana this morning, and while she was not ready for a big jump into a coaching program financially, we decided that logging her food for the next week until we could take a next step was really important, so that we could say, hey, what did we do? What do we need to change? So simply logging your food is one thing. Logging your food and then having a professional look at it and give you feedback on it and decide what we need to change to make it work better, that's going to be the secret sauce, is the evaluation, right? Learn, plan, do, review. You have to keep going through that cycle. You got to keep learning. You got to be planning ahead. You got to execute, and then you have to review and go back and say what worked and what didn't, right? Okay. Stephanie says her fatigue is holding her back. That's something that we definitely would want to look into and figure out what the source is of that fatigue, worth diving into. Is it sleep? Is it lack of nutrients and calories? Is it a lot of stress? What's going on? Okay. Tina says her mindset. So Tina, you need a little game plan call with me. We got to pump you up and get you in that good mindset. And I think that's the value of when we're in my coaching programs, is having a lot of contact, constant contact, so that we can keep your mindset positive. Super important. Lisa says embarrassment and lack of drive. I absolutely understand that. Being uncomfortable in your skin doesn't scream, hey, let's go to the gym and work out in front of a lot of people, right? So most of my programs, well, all of my programs can be done at home. And with regards to lack of drive, we need to get you an action plan, a really clear action plan that will fit where you're at and meet you where you're at, is absolutely going to build that drive. And what you need is a plan. You need to take action, and then you need consistency and possibly just a bunch of love and support, right? Let's see. Beth says fitness training is holding her back. Let's get you into a program, right? Let's get you started. Let's get you on a fitness program that is very clear what you do each day of the week. You show up, you press play, you do the workout, you start to see the results, and you start to see the momentum build. Jan says her weight is holding her back. Then it's time to make a change. We got to get it off, right? That'll definitely give you a lot of motivation to keep going and continue on. Darla says the inability to see results after menopause. I'll tell you, Darla, you might be playing the wrong game, right? So you've got to play the game of where you're at right now. So if, I was saying to somebody earlier yesterday, if you show up to a basketball game with a baseball bat, you ain't gonna win, right? So we got to show up for the menopause game, and you need to be educated on it. And so that's why I'd say, Darla, if you don't want to book a call with me, the first thing you need to do is to purchase that menopausal metabolism reboot and get started on it right away. It takes 35 days. You're going to see massive change in those 35 days. But more importantly, with the 3 workshops in there, 1 from me and 2 from 2 of my colleagues, you are going to learn so much information that you can't unlearn. It's going to be amazing. And your question below, I'll answer that right now. She says, what can I do to reset? I'm not seeing results after menopause. So the first part of the reboot is a 5-day kickstart cleanse. And that is the shakeup that your body might need right now, of stop doing all the things that you've been doing that are not getting you anywhere and start with something fresh. This 5-day kickstart cleanse is going to help you lose your first 5 to 10 pounds in the next 5 days. And you're going to feel amazing. And then we continue on with the rest of the reboot protocol, and it's just going to be so great. So let's do that. We got to start learning and doing. Okay, Darla? Tam says stress and work is holding her back. Stress will 100% hold you back. So I know sometimes long hours, stressful job, it is hard to manage that stress. That's when it's important to have the mechanisms to include me time, relaxation time, whatever you can do during the day, asking others for help, reducing the stress on your nervous system, on your digestive system. There's so many things that we can do that we can control, even when there's a lot that we can't control in our lives, okay? Let's have a chat, Tam. Maybe you and I can figure it out together. And lastly, we have Sandy. When I asked what is holding you back, she writes, me, exclamation point, motivation to work out. Well, you don't need motivation to work out, Sandy. You need a plan, and you need somebody to kick your butt and say, hey, let's do it. Let's start it. I'm going to keep an eye on you. I want to make sure you're getting this done, okay? So we need accountability and a really clear plan for you, Sandy. All right, let's get that call scheduled so we can talk about this stuff. All right, let's quickly run across and see what everybody's goals are, see if there's any common themes. We've got lose 20 to 30 pounds, get stronger and lose 20 pounds, to weigh 130 pounds, to tone up, to lose 35 pounds, to be 190 pounds and have a routine that I can stick with, to tone up, find my muscles again. I've gotten flabby and I hate it. To lose 20 pounds, to lose 30 plus pounds, to lose weight and tone up, to lose weight and feel comfortable again, to lose 20 pounds, to lose 10 to 15 pounds and tone. So mostly I saw 20 to 30 pounds. I also did see the 10 to 15 pounds, and all of you want to get toned and stronger and feel better, right? And so I know there was a question here as to how long it's going to take, and I'll just answer that now. This was Beth. She said, how long will it take to reach my goal? And I'm just going to use that 20 to 30 pounds to explain what is healthy weight loss. And it's really interesting because every time in, I think, my Yahoo or my Google News, when I open my browser, I see headlines and it's always Ozempic. And you know what I saw was an article just yesterday, and it was talking about Ozempic face, right? And so this is the semaglutides that they basically suppress your appetite so that you don't even feel hungry, you don't want to eat. And so you see quick weight loss, you're basically starving yourself. And it's not a very healthy way to lose weight unless you're so obese that, better to lose weight fast than to have so much plaque around your heart and organs. But what it was saying is that when people stop eating and they're losing weight this unhealthy way, you'll see it. People have said this to me too. I don't want to get so skinny that I lose all the fat in my face and then I look old and just gaunt and wrinkly. And so that's what they were saying. They're calling it Ozempic face, is because you're losing weight so fast that your skin can't keep up with that quick of a weight loss. And so it starts to droop and sag, and you get this chin that's hanging down, and you see your eyes are starting to get sunken, and you see a lot more wrinkles because it's not a healthy weight loss, right? And so what our ideal weight loss is 2 to 3 pounds a week. That's a healthy, sustainable weight loss. And so if you're going to do that, then let's divide, right? Let's say maybe it's 1 to 3 pounds, because sometimes you lose a lot of weight and then it slows down. So let's say 2 pounds a week, right? So for those of you who have 20 pounds to lose, that's 10 weeks. That's about 2.5 months. And for those of you who have 30 pounds to lose, that's 15 weeks. That's a little over 3 months. And so you could definitely lose 25 pounds, 20 to 30 pounds in the next 3 months. But you have to have a plan that's meant for you, that'll work. You have to have consistency. And for that, I think accountability is so huge. So I'd say 3 months to reach a goal somewhere between 20 and 30 pounds. Are you going to be there when you finish that? No. I'm 9 years into this real solid journey, and I still am constantly setting the bar higher, looking to achieve new goals, looking to feel stronger. My body is changing too. I've seen the weight go to my thighs recently, and so now I'm changing my approach. And so you're never going to be there. The game's going to keep changing, but you've got to stay in it, and you've got to be using the right tools, okay? Let's answer some more questions that came up, okay? And if you have any questions, you can drop them below. If you're live, say hi. If you are watching the replay, let me know. If I mentioned you here today, then go ahead and do whatever I told you to do. And if I didn't mention you today, go check out the links here in the post and check out the 3 ways that I posted for you to get started, okay? So Graciela wants to know, is menopause really the issue or is it me? And it might be a combo of the two. If you're asking if menopause is an issue, then it's probably affecting you, right? And when a lot of people say menopause, they're referring to this massively long time, and it could be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. It could be how everybody's different. But what they're referring to is this period where your hormones are changing. You're losing estrogen and progesterone, and your testosterone is rising relatively to those two. And that creates so many upsets kind of in what you've known as a woman. And so the thing is we have to change what we're doing. So it could be you if you're not doing the right things to work with the hormonal changes. Okay, so we have to know what's going on, and then we have to know what we need to do to make the change, and then we have to be consistent with it and work on it and figure out what works for our body and what doesn't, because we're all different. Okay. And so, Graciela, that makes me want to tell you that either having a call together or you signing up for the Menopausal Metabolism Reboot to start, if you need a small step, either of those would be a great start for you. Okay. Leslie wants to know, why is sticking with something so hard when I can't make time for myself? So number one, you have got to make time for yourself. 30 minutes a day out of 24 hours, that's really all you need. If you can take more time, fantastic, but you are going to have to prioritize yourself if you have a goal and you're not achieving it doing what you're doing. And so why is sticking to something so hard? Well, you're probably not doing something that's meant for you, that's right for you. I'll tell you, if somebody said to me, for the next year, Jill, you have to stick to macros, I would say, no way. I probably couldn't do that for more than a couple weeks, right? Unless I had a really focused goal. I did good with macros for like 12 to 20 weeks when I was preparing for bikini competitions and I was going to be standing on a stage competing with other people, and I needed to be at my best, right? For that amount of time, I was super hyper focused. This is now 7 and 5 years ago that I did this, but on a regular basis, when I'm doing regular life, that is just not for me. And so I need a way that works for me, right? And so that's why it's important that we do something that works for us, our lifestyle, who we are, right? I have ADHD. I can't do anything for that long, so I need a lot of different things so I can vacillate between them. But I need a lot of knowledge too, so that I know if I don't want to do that, I can do this and still be on track. So it's important that you love the journey, right? I talk about this a lot with my clients. If you're not loving what you're doing, if you're not loving what you're eating, if you're not loving the workouts you're doing, then it's not going to last, and it's going to be harder to stick to. If you're trying to restrict yourself, you're just going to want to binge. So find the healthy balance, find something that you love, and that's why I work with my clients on a one-on-one basis when we do our coaching calls, so that I can address their specific needs. That's why I have these game plan calls, so I can know exactly who you are and how you tick, so I know what to offer you, okay? All right, Melody wants to ask me, she says, I don't know if it's a question, my knees hurt, so I can't do crazy exercise. I don't like using a microwave, but want nutritious meals at work. Okay, so Melody is just telling us a couple hurdles that she's got, but it doesn't mean that she can't succeed. You could absolutely succeed. So I don't really put my clients through crazy exercise per se. We build up over time. So we start smaller, right? 15-minute workouts, 20-minute workouts. And I think what's interesting too is a lot of people who say like, I have bad knees, so I don't do leg day stuff, right? Or I have a bad shoulder, so I don't do shoulder stuff. These are generally the people who need those things the most. So if your knees hurt, we got to figure out what's the issue there. What's the weakness? Is it lack of mobility? Is it lack of strength? And what you got to do is you don't avoid the things that will build the strength and mobility. You have to be devoted to them, right? Same thing with shoulder. If somebody's like, oh, I have a bad shoulder, so I don't do any shoulder work. You should be doing daily shoulder work, more physical therapy type, but you need to be working on mobility, stability, range of motion, and then strength. So these are not obstacles for you. It's just something that you have to work around. Using a microwave at work is absolutely not necessary. A lot of people in this world don't want to use microwaves, don't have microwaves. There's tons of things that you can eat that don't require a microwave. So let's not worry about that. But let's book a call, Melody, okay? Let's see. Stephanie wants to know, how can I lower my cortisol? Evidently, mine is super high, and I know it is preventing me from getting the results that I want. So that's great, Stephanie, that you know what the issue is. Now that you've identified it, let's tackle it. This is going to be something that is the focus of my Menopausal Metabolism Reboot, and it's going to help you so much to understand what makes cortisol release in our bodies. And for those of you who aren't sure if cortisol is the source of your weight gain, you'll know we call it cortisol belly. When you've gained a lot of weight and it all seems to be this spare tire around the middle, that's going to be a telltale sign that your cortisol levels are high. If you're struggling to sleep, if you have a lot of night sweats, hot flashes, mood swings, all the things that are related with menopause, menopausal symptoms, these are going to be tied to your cortisol levels. And so also if you're not sleeping at night, this is also going to cause cortisol spikes. If you are trying to fast, not good for you. This is going to cause cortisol spikes. So these are a lot of hints, but you really want to get that education. So Stephanie and anybody who's dealing with the same, Menopausal Metabolism Reboot, find the link in the post and sign up. Okay? Tina wants to know how to get organized and get the buy-in from my family. So organization, I should have brought one of my, actually I have one thing. So today I told you guys I had a call with Dana earlier and we talked about her tracking her food, but also what she's doing is she's going to be tracking her workouts. She signed up for my Triple Threat Challenge, and you can find that right on my website on JillOrtizFitness.com. It's 3 15-minute workouts for arms, abs, and glutes. It's only $17, and you can start by I told her, put those 3 workouts on your calendar, okay? And then track your nutrition for the week, and then map out what's going on in life for the week. And I think, you know what? I'm going to take you for a little walk through my kitchen because, oops, I'm back. Sorry. Because I do this every week too, and this sits right on my kitchen counter, and I've got a lot of blank ones here too. I print them off, and this is how I stay organized. I've got 2 ways. Sorry. Okay. These are blank ones. See, I printed off 4 for the next month, right? And this is my filled out one. So, and I think this might be in the group somewhere. These are my workouts, right? And I had scheduled my workouts, but then I realized that I did today's the other day and I put those in the wrong place. So I fixed that. And then here's my nutrition, and I mapped things out, but you can see I crossed things out. I didn't have cherries, I had watermelon. And then I had like half of my son's leftover burger because I know he's never gonna eat it. I threw away the bun, and I ate that because I was hungry mid-morning, right? Probably wasn't enough breakfast. Make a note, eat more breakfast next time, right? And then these are all the things that are going on in our life. We've got lots going on, graduation, trip to Colorado, bat mitzvah, graduate, all the stuff, right? Anniversary, all these things. And so this is how I stay organized. So I gave this, I emailed it to Dana this morning just to help her get started with that organization. Let me see if it is in the group. I think I put it somewhere in here recently. If you look in the search bar for weekly planner, otherwise just tag me or message me and ask me for the planner. Something I give my clients. My clients fill it out every week too. Another thing that is really great to get organized is some kind of planner. And there's a lot of planners out there. It took me a long time to figure out the one that would work best for me. This one's called the Push Journal. It says MVP on the front. And I use this for a lot of things. Number 1, checklist. I can't keep anything in my head. Everything comes in and immediately, I forget it. So as soon as I have a thought, I got to write things down. This is my notes, my checklist, my to-dos for the day. Right here is a place where you can track your health, right? So all your meals, if you want to track your meals, your water, your sleep, your exercise, all of these things. I do pretty well with this, so I don't use this all the time, but there's times when I do. Here are our goals, writing down your goals, writing down the major tasks that are going to help you to your goal, and then any other tasks for the day. And then my favorite part is the scheduler, right? And so this is to schedule out your day. What are all the things you have to do hour by hour? When are you going to schedule time for you personally, your me time? When do you got to do things for your family? When do you work? All that stuff, appointments. Put it all in so that you can see the day. You know how the day is going to go, right? Really important to have this kind of organization. When it comes to the buy-in from your family, number one, you might say if they love you, then they'll listen to you. You have to bring it to their attention. Nobody's going to read your mind as to what you want in life. You got to tell them. You got to tell them 20 times. Another thing is you don't need their buy-in. You got to just start doing you, and they're going to follow suit, right? We are the women of the family, and I know for me, we say this all the time, I am the compass of the family. If I'm unhappy, I make everybody miserable. If I'm happy, I make everybody happy. If I'm on track with my fitness and my nutrition, everybody else is too. When I make healthy food, my husband eats healthy food. When my kids walk in and I'm doing a workout, like this morning, my son walked in and he saw the chin-up bar up, and so he went like that. And I helped him up and he starts doing chin-ups, right? So you are a massive influencer in your family and in your life. And so you don't have to have anybody's buy-in. You do you, right? You do you, boo. And start making it happen and people will follow suit. And if they don't, then fine. At least you're doing it for you, right? Okay, that was a long-winded answer. I'm going to take one more question. Sandy. I need guidance related to macros, lifting, and menopause. This stage of life has changed a lot about my body. So Sandy, let's schedule that call together. I would love to talk to you because I love to talk about these things. But what I would say is my guess is, number one, I think the Empowered Fitness Mastery Program sounds like a good fit. We would go over all of these things. And if not, then maybe starting the menopausal reboot on your own to start, getting a week without your lifting, right? Getting a week of relaxation, digestive system relaxation, go through the Kickstart Cleanse, and then let's do the reboot, right, to regulate our cortisol and our blood sugar. And we'll introduce that lifting so that it works with your schedule. We'll start getting the education. We want new programming often. That's how you get results in lifting. And once we get through the reboot, then I would teach you macros. I can teach it to you in my coaching program. I can teach it to you personally on a one-on-one nutrition coaching trial, or it's also on my website under programs. My Foods for Fat Loss program is $47. I happen to have it up because somebody else asked me about macros recently. It's $47. You keep it forever. It's all the education you need on what macros is, how to determine your macros, how to track your macros, how to plan and follow up. And so that could be something that you do on your own and just purchase the program, or it can be something that I coach you through. So that would be my recommendation to you. Okay? If nobody else has questions, I'm going to hop off. If you just hopped on, then the recording will be here and you can go back and watch it. And if you have questions, if you want to book a call, go ahead, use the link that I put in the post, book a call with me so we can go over what's going on with you and what the best next steps are for you personally. Otherwise, join me for a round of Jill's Killer Abs. First 10 people to join are going to get $20 off. That's 40% off the price. And I'm going to start on the 1st, which is Saturday. It's the first thing I'm going to wake up in the morning and do my Jill's Killer Abs day 1. And for the 20 days or 19 days following that. And lastly, if you think you resonated with anything I said about hormones and menopause, go ahead, sign up for the Menopausal Reboot. You'll have it forever. So even if you can't start it today or tomorrow, start it soon, start taking action, get new results, and then we'll take your journey from there. Okay? All right. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you soon.